This video, I am going to show you how you can test compression through voltage through your map sensor. I have one of my traces going to the #1 injector, and this one will be your trigger. This will determine what the firing order is. I have my regular ground going to engine ground or body ground, and I have my second one, or first one, going to the signal going to the map sensor. If you think about the map sensor does vacuum. If your vacuum increases or decreases, your voltage is going to change. If your compression is bad, your vacuum is going to be bad too. So this is how we can determine exactly what cylinder it is before we can even test anything else. So enjoy this video, and hopefully this will help you guys. This is the data PIDs for this. As you look at the map sensor, you can see the values going up and down. So we know we have an issue there. So now we're going to hook the scope up and see what we can find. So the first thing is to set up our scope. You can see I have the yellow on 5 volt, and then I have the green trace number 2 on 100 volt. Trace number 2 is going to be on the injector. I'm going to put it at 5 milliseconds. I'm going to use the injector as my trigger so I can have a regular pulse stoppage. Now, the 5 volt is your map sensor, and you can see, because we're on such a 5 millisecond, that you can't really see the up and down. So you're going to hit the pause button, go into your magnifying glass, and then this is when it's going to zoom out of that pattern, and you can see exactly what is going on with the map sensor. So this is the zoomed out section of the map sensor. You can see where the vacuum is starting to build up in between the injector pulse, and it's going down, then all of a sudden goes up, and then it starts all over again. The going down part is where the vacuum is getting decreased, and then that's where the compression issue lies. You want to make sure that you hit the 720 degree reference from injector to injector. And then this way you can find when the vacuum, you can see where the vacuum is right there going up. And then that's where you want to measure that vacuum, or that point of a 720 degree. So you take your signal, and you can see I'm moving my cursors so I can get the milliseconds of the whole injector. Saved your scope pattern and you're at 5 milliseconds, you're not going to be able to see the map sensor change. Just zoom all the way out, and then you can see where the map sensor change. You want to zoom in between the 2 injectors. On this one is at 64. You can see where I measure between the first and the second. We are at 163 milliseconds. You divide that by 8, you come out approximately 20 milliseconds per stroke of the engine. You can see where we made the change here, where the vacuum starts going up on the map sensor. And then now you just start measuring your milliseconds. And say that's 1, go another 1. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. So your 5th one, now you take your firing order. 1 is 1. 2 is 8, 4 is 3, 5 is 1, 8, 4, 3, 5 is 4, 6 is the cylinder number 5. So this is cylinder number 6 is our 5th one over, and then that's when it's starting to go up. So this kind of gives you an idea of what cylinder you may be missing. So now you would just take that cylinder out and do a compression check, and then go from there. In conclusion, this is a recap. As you zoom out, you can see that the vacuum is changing. Now remember, this is a completely dead cylinder. So then when you zoom in, you're going to have a 720 degree from injector to injector. Divide the milliseconds by how many cylinders, and then you will push it and then measure from point to point, whatever the milliseconds is, and then times it to when you see the dead spot. So now you can see I got the 720 and I did 20 milliseconds each one. So you got 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, and then 6 it started going up, and then 5 was still going up, but then we got the 7.2, then it starts going back down. So that's when your compression completely went out, is on number 6, and you're able to just do a compression check, and then you go from there. So here's the video on the compression check.
Again. Flat 0, baby. She done.
I want to thank you for watching this YouTube. Please hit the like button and subscribe, and hit the bell for notification. Thanks.